Alrighty then, are you ready to can some green beans? These are the first of our harvest from our garden. We're a little bit psyched about it, and these are Bush Contender. So what I am going to do is I'm going to trim them right here into my compost little bucket I keep on my island so that my compost gets those discards. I'm gonna do it with some kitchen shears, and I am then going to put them in my vintage colander, rinse them off really well, and begin to put them in my jars. But you know I go check books before I begin to can. That's right, 2 references to make sure. So I'm gonna be raw packing these, and I'm gonna do 1 inch of headspace. They're gonna process at 20 minutes because I'm doing pints. So I've got my list down, my vent start time, my process start time in case I am interrupted, which I do not like when I'm canning. So, and I'm gonna be using my 4 jar lids, and I've got them getting warm. So I'm gonna get to snipping, and we're gonna can some homegrown green beans. I'm telling you, the importance of getting food on your shelves has never been more important. So let's get to getting. See these little rusty spots? Say no, no, no. So here they are, and I'm now gonna clean these very well. I had already run those beans in that other colander underwater, but I want to really rinse these very well, and then we'll proceed with canning them. There is a little racket in the background, and one of those things is my proper kettle to where I can get my hot water in here. So we're gonna put on our funnel. Got my Poke-Joe. I've got my clean and safe area. And now we are going to loosely, and you will not rough pack these down. Ouch, hot. And we need 1 inch of headspace, if you remember from our note. That is how I remember things. We got our magic wand to get our hot lids. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. I made sure I don't have any rust spots on my beans. Now, let's ladle some hot water into this hot jar. You can add salt. It is not necessary for preserving, it's just flavor. When we open these, we use some bacon grease, saute some onion, and then we pour this in with the liquid from this jar, let that liquid cook off, and these beans are amazing. Let's get our hot water. One of the greatest things for canning is a proper kettle, but if you're pouring this into a cold jar, you could have thermal shock. That will make you lose your jar. That is not a good thing. These are holy vessels, and for the last 2 years, they've been hard to find. I have many, many of them from a lifetime of canning, but you still have to debubble. So your other end of this is your increment measurer, right? Hot, hot. So we look pretty spot on. No, we might be a little high. So where'd we put our spoon? Now we're at 1 inch of headspace. So now you use your magic wand, get one of your 4 jar lids out. Ooh, but wait, first we have to wipe our edge. Even though I didn't use salt, I still want to wipe this edge. This jar is hot. Do the hot jar dance. Now, this is how I do it. That works for me, is I use the limp hand method and turn till my fingers can't go anymore. This one's going in the canner that is simply on simmer. Because again, I do not want to get shocked with thermal shock and lose a jar. Let's do another one, shall we? Funnel, whoops. Grab some beans we've already trimmed and cleaned. We cleaned them after we picked them. We cleaned them, rinsed them in a colander after we cut them into more realistic slices. Remember, don't cram them in here. This is perfect for 2 adults for a meal. Let's get a scissor. That looks right on. Let's get some hot water. Use your funnel. 1 inch of headspace. Reference 2 books to make sure. Pokey Joe or debubble, you do not want air in between these beans. We want a safely canned product on our shelves. Well, that is proper debubblement. Okay, that could use a little more water, so I'm getting water from where I had my lid sitting in hot water. So that's nice, clean, hot water. There we go, got our 1 inch. Let's wipe our rim. Use our magic wand. Get a ring. Limp wrist. I don't want them to go too tight. I don't want my ring to buckle. That felt weird. There. I don't like that ring. Not feeling it. Next victim. Limp wrist. There we go. Perfection. All right, so you get the idea of how we're going to do this. Cannon green beans, raw pack. Alrighty then, we've got 3, 6, 7 pints in my little Presto, and now I'm going to put the lid on and turn the propane burner to high so that we can get to vent for 10 minutes. Easy peasy. It ain't hard, it's just canning. Something that I do as a habit is I make sure before I put this lid on, when I take my canner out, I turn it upside down. I check the gauge in it. I make sure this is tightened underneath because this is a 2-piece part. I make sure that this is clear, that I can see through it, and my gauge is at 0. All looks good in my hood, my cannon hood. So we are waiting for my vent lock cover to come up because on my canner, once that comes up, I will get a steady stream from here that I will time for 10 minutes. So I'm waiting for this vent lock cover to come up. Still ain't hard, is it? Don't get alarmed when it starts to jiggle around and you're getting a lot of steam around it. Your canner is coming up to pressure. It's doing what it does. Don't get scared. Ain't nothing to be scared of because remember, you have the emergency pop-up back here that if something happened inside this canner, that's gonna pop out. So this cannot blow up. Don't be scared. Don't make up drama. Nothing to be scared of. Never try to manipulate this in an up position. Let it do it by itself for safety. Let your canner do what your canner is designed to do. There we go, it's now up. So now I'm going to put on, in my case, a weighted, some people call it the jiggler, okay? So now it is up. It is not the time to put on your jiggler or your regulator. I'm gonna set and write down 10 minutes because now you can see a steady stream that is coming out of my canner. So to make this canning safe, I'm gonna set my timer to 10 minutes and write down 10 minutes from now so that I have a little backup. Don't do nothing crazy. Alrighty then, my 10 minutes is up for that steady stream. So now I'm gonna put my weighted gauge or jiggler on. You would at this time put your regulator on. So now, as you can see, it's already happening. My gauge is gonna start to rise. In my area, it's 10 to 11 pounds. So that is what I'm gonna wait for to happen. So it's gotta reach that pressure. Then I start my process time of 20 minutes. Not now, it needs to come up to the proper pressure that was in both of those resources for safe canning. So once that happens, then I'll start timing 20 minutes. It ain't hard, it's just canning. Follow the rules, they've got it, the science is done for us. It's all down in there exactly how to do it. Easy peasy. All right, the 20 minutes is up. All I'm doing is turning off the burner. I'm not going to do anything else until that pressure gauge drops to 0. And then I'm still going to wait 10 minutes before I take these, I think it was 7 pints of green beans out of this canner. Alrighty then, here they be. 5, and then we've got our 2. They will simmer down, but look at that. Canning is amazing to me, still processing. Oh yeah, grew it, canned it, can't beat that.